Hey guys, it's Megan. I'm home today because we're going to do a very special challenge. We're not going to do it in the library just since it involves pieces. But we're going to do Becca's Bookopoly, which I'll link the video to down below. But there's a booktuber, Becca in the Books. She's British. I don't know where she lives, but somewhere in England, I think. Anyway, she created this game, and she does it every single year, and the board changes every year, but it's basically Monopoly with different book prompts on it. It's got some really, really fun prompts on here, like lowest rated. Should we go through the board? I guess real quick we could go through the board and just see what we get. But I plan on doing 6 rolls. I'm gonna roll the dice 6 times, pick 6 books for the month of September. September is when she does Bookopoly, and I might not get to all 6 books, but at least I'll have some choices. So you start on the go space, and then you have lowest rated and a small book under 300 pages. You have community shelf cards, which are like just random prompts that you have to fulfill, which I made a stack of cards for those. There's also chance cards, which are just, I put some books I really am looking forward to read, and then some books I'm not looking forward to reading, and I've mixed them all together. So I'll just, just tell me which book I have to read if I land on a chance card. A TBR vet of the railroads are the different seasons. So a book could remind you of that season. It could be set during that season. The cover could look like that season, like it could be floral or something if it's spring, that kind of thing. Then we have the front cover either has people on it, a pattern or text, like pattern plus text, and then building. Then we have a dice roll roulette, which I'm not sure what that is. If we get that, we'll have to look at the instructions, which I also printed out. We have published or set before 1999. Published or set between 2000 and 2019, or published or set since the year 2020. We also have a poll pick where we'd have to put up a poll to be able to pick our next book. A favorite trope, a favorite setting, and a favorite genre. Play someone else's TBR game. That would be intense if we get that one. There's a gnat. Ew, it won't go off. Emoji picture, like TBR picture book that you have to read. Like you have to actually go through and do an emoji generator, a random generator to pick an emoji, random letter generator, and random color wheel generator, color generator. And you have to find a book that like has that letter or has that color or reminds you of that emoji, I guess. Features a romance. Oh gosh, let's hope we don't get that one. Features a mystery, mood read, or features a death. A Becca rec. So you have to find one that Becca from Becca in the Books has recommended or is on her TBR, I think, or something. First person perspective, third person perspective, or multi-perspective. And then finally a big book over 500 pages or the highest rated book on your Goodreads TBR. So, and also there's most recent purchases in there too. I think we covered them all. I'm making sure I didn't skip one. I don't think so, possibly. But anyway, let's roll, and then we'll come back in between to talk about what we got. Here's our setup. We have our board, community shelf cards, chance cards, directions if we need them. This tiny little pie piece that we're going to use to move around the board because this board is so tiny. I stole this from Trivial Pursuit, and we have our dice. So let's do our first roll. We roll 2 dice at a time. Oh, we gotta start on go. Where's go? There's go. Okay. All right. Ready? Roll 9. Oh, and if you get doubles, you have to add a book and roll again. 1, 2. I guess I could actually move this as I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Building. Okay. A book with a building on the cover. For our first roll, we got book with a building on the cover, and this is a book that I've been dying to read. It's probably going to take me like the entire month, so we'll see how far we get, but at least it's one I will start, and that is The Hod King by Josiah Bancroft. I wanted to put this on there. I was going to force this to fit into some prompt anyway, but it's got the building on the cover. It's got the tower. That's the Tower of Babel in the books. So this is the 3rd book in the Sin and Ascend series. It's massive. I loved book 2. I gave it 4.5 stars, and I hear that this one's even better, so I'm super excited to read this, and I am going to start it probably like today, even though it's still August. Let's move on to roll number 2. Whew. All right, so far so good. Well, not double, so that's good. Okay, 9 again. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Favorite setting. Favorite setting. Okay, I think I can already think of one for that. Okay, for our second role, we got favorite setting, and my favorite series of all time ever is Harry Potter, and so my favorite setting really is Hogwarts. Hogwarts is like, I would live there if I could in a heartbeat. And when I went to Universal for the first time and saw the Harry Potter world, I was like, I'm home, this is home. So what I think what I'll read, even though it's not exactly Harry Potter, but it is still my favorite setting, like a magical school, and that is the sequel to Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, which is Wayward Son. I'm actually about ready to finish Carry On really soon. Well, I'm like 60% through Carry On, and I really like it. I'm listening to the audiobook, and I definitely want to read Wayward Son. I was going to read it at some point anyway. I just couldn't decide if I was going to read these back to back, and then there's the third one too that I think just came out relatively recently. So I didn't know, should I read the whole trilogy back to back? Should I take a break in between and not get burnt out? But since it is my favorite setting at like a magical Hogwartsy type school, I'm gonna go ahead and read Wayward Son, which if you don't know anything about the Carry On series, I didn't either until I watched a booktuber talk about it, and oh my gosh, it's like Harry Potter fan fiction, but it's like sort of more adult than Harry Potter. It's like if Harry Potter were written for young adults and not for middle school kids. They're like in their 8th year of school. They've been there a long time, these students, and it just sort of picks up right at the, like in the middle of everything that's been happening, and you kind of get backstory as you go. But is it possibly better than Harry Potter? No, but it's really close. Let's do roll number 3. Let's not get another 9 this time. Oh my gosh, it's 9! We got 9 again. Dear goodness, that's 3 9s in a row. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Features a mystery. Okay, let's see if I've got anything on my shelves, and then if not, we will look on our Goodreads TBR. So I was looking through my Goodreads TBR, and it turns out I don't have a lot of just straight up mysteries on there. I have a lot of thrillers and dark academia and things like that, but I don't have very many mysteries. But one mystery that I do have is I Hunt Killers by Barry Lyga. And this is one of the most popular mysteries in our school library. And so I've been wanting to read it anyway, just to see what all the fuss is about, what all the hype's about. I read One of Us is Lying over the summer, which was the most popular book. And if you watched my video, you saw how that went. It was not good because it wasn't really a mystery. It was more just like realistic fiction with the teenagers and their problems. So this one I think is about a kid whose dad was a serial killer, and he kind of learned the ways, I guess, but he is not bad or anything. But now a serial killer striking again, I guess, in his town or whatever, and people think it's him because of his family's history, but it's not him, and he has to, well, the cops are trying to prove it's him, so they're not looking for the real killer, so I believe he has to track down who the real killer is, and that's the mystery. So this one definitely focuses on a mystery. It's young adult. It should be fast to read. I can get the audiobook, so we'll add this one to the list. Roll number 4. There is no way that we can get a 9 again. We've gotten 9 every single time. Oh, it fell off. It was on the floor, but it was a 6. So we'll go with 7 this time. So at least that's something a little bit different. 1. Oh, we're on mystery, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Multi-perspective. Okay. Well, I don't have very many multi-perspective books on my list right now, and I don't have a lot of the physical copies of the ones I want to read to be able to see if they're multi-perspective, but unfortunately one that I know that is multi-perspective that I need to read, that I don't want to, is Blessed Monsters by Emily A. Duncan. This is the 3rd and final book in the Something Dark and Holy trilogy. Book 1 was pretty good, Wicked Saints, I enjoyed. Book 2, Ruthless Gods, like 2 stars, like not good. Like nothing made any sense in it. Like why were the characters even doing what they were doing? It made no sense. But so I have no hopes for this, but I bought it and it's pretty. And if I paid full price for it, you know, well, like the Amazon price, whatever that was, but still everything ends in chaos. I just need to finish this. I just need to be done with this series. So I don't know if I'll actually get to this book since I've got the Hod King and that's huge. Physical books are, I don't have much time to physically read. I've listened to a lot of audiobooks with school now starting and the baby and everything. So the toddler, I should say. So we'll get to this one if we can, but there are at least 3 different points of view, possibly more. I don't know about this book. The other ones had 3 points of view at least. So yeah, it is multi-perspective. So we'll just kind of add it onto the TBR. And if I get time, we'll read it. Book 5. We've got 2 to go. Yay, no doubles. I should say no doubles every time. No doubles, no doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, the lowest rated book on my TBR on Goodreads. No. Thought this might be fun to do together. So I've got my Goodreads pulled up. You can sort it by however you want. I'm going to sort it by average rating. It's probably going to sort by Yeah, the highest rated first. So I'm going to reverse. I'm so scared. Oh, it's a book I've never heard of. Or, well, clearly I've heard of it. I've added it to my TBR. Okay, I'll show you. It's called Zenith, the Andromeda Saga, book 1 by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings, and it has 3.1 stars out of a little less than 5,000 ratings. I wonder why I added this. Who did I see? Oh, it's 534 pages by Harlequin Teen. So it must be young adult. Blurred by Sarah J. Maas. A whirlwind out of this galaxy adventure. Okay, well, let's just read what it's about real quick. You can skip this if you don't want to know. Most know Androma Rosella as the Bloody Baroness, a powerful mercenary whose reign of terror stretches across the Mirabel galaxy. To those aboard her glass starship Marauder, however, she's just Andy, their friend and fearless leader. But when a routine mission goes awry, the Marauder's all-girl crew is tested as they find themselves in a treacherous situation and at the mercy of a sadistic bounty hunter from Andy's past. Okay. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, a ruthless ruler awaits in the shadows of the planet Zenpetra, biding her time to exact revenge for the destruction of her people. The pieces of her deadly plan are all about to fall into place, unleashing a plot that will tear Mirabel in two. Andy and her crew embark on a dangerous, soul-testing journey that could restore order to their ship, or just as easily start a war that will devour worlds. As the Marauder hurtles toward the unknown and Mirabel hangs in the balance, the only certainty is that in a galaxy run on lies and illusion, no one can be trusted. Okay, 2 people I follow have read this. Haley from Haley in Wonderland, or Haley in Bookland, 2.5 stars from her. And Books with Brittany gave it 3.5. So she said, this is everything I want a YA sci-fi to be. She said she's heard mixed reviews, but she was glad she picked it up. Okay, well, I guess we're adding this book. I'm kind of intrigued because at least this is not a book I ever planned to read. So, I mean, well, it's on my TBR, but anyway, 3.1 stars. Yeah, I guess we're gonna read Zenith and see how that goes. This is our very last roll. We haven't even got to use these cards. I was hoping we would get a community shelf or a chance card. I'll also play this game some other time just so I can use those cards because I made them just for this. What have we got? Oh no! It's doubles! No! But that means we have to add another roll. Great. Okay, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Buildings again? Oh my gosh, we've got buildings again. Okay, well, that could have been worse. I actually did find a book that I want to read with buildings on the front cover. I've been wanting to read The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. I don't know why I'm showing you on the screen, but I could just put it right here. But The Blood Trials is supposed to be sci-fi with fantasy mixed together. Like one says part of their society, like some of the people only believe in like using magic or something, and then the other part don't like using magic and they want to use technology. So I feel like that'll be a really interesting mix because I love the idea of sci-fi versus technology. That sounds really cool. And it is YA, so that could not be as good, but I've heard pretty decent things from some booktubers and I've been pretty excited about reading it. But yeah, I think it's a duology called The Blood Gift. I don't know if book 2 is out, but we can find out right now, I suppose. It does not come out, no, book 2 does not come out till next year. So Blood Trials just came out in April of this year. So let's add it to our list and let's see if we can get the audiobook. Now we have to do another roll. This was not supposed to happen. I'm not going to get to read 7 books next month, but at least I'll have options, I suppose. Okay, we rolled a 7. So let's just move that out of the way. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Favorite trope. Do I have a favorite trope? Let me think about it. Our last roll was a favorite trope, and I feel like usually that has to do with romance novels, and strangely, there is a romance novel that I've kind of been wanting to read that I guess has one of my favorite tropes. I don't really have very many favorite tropes, I don't feel like, but anyway, it's called The Roughest Draft, and I've heard that it's really good for people that didn't like Book Lovers by Emily Henry, because I wanted it to be about books, and this one's about writing, I suppose, but in fact, let's read what it's about, because I'm not actually sure, but I believe it is enemies to lovers, which I apparently like that trope, you know, decently well, but it's like this co-writing team, these co-writing literary darlings, they were co-writing literary darlings anyway, until they hit a plot hole that turned their lives upside down. 3 years ago, Katrina Freeling and Nathan Van Heusen were the brightest literary stars on the horizon, their co-written books toppling bestseller hit lists. topping. But on the heels of their greatest success, they ended their partnership on bad terms for reasons neither would divulge to the public. They haven't spoken since and never plan to, except they have one final book due on contract. Facing crossroads in their personal and professional lives, they're forced to reunite. The last thing they ever thought they'd do again is hole up in the tiny Florida town where they wrote their previous book, trying to finish a new manuscript quickly and painlessly. Working through the reasons they've hated each other for the past 3 years isn't easy, especially not while writing a romantic novel. While passion and prose push them closer together in the Florida heat, Katrina and Nathan will learn that relationships, like writing, sometimes take a few rough drafts before they get it right. So enemies to lovers, sort of, and it's about writing, which I guess is one of my other favorite tropes, is if it's about like books, then I will enjoy it. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video. Let's just wrap up with what we're reading, the possibilities. We have The Hod King, which I wanted to get to anyway, so that worked out nicely. And this was for the prompt about a book with a building on the front cover. Then we had my favorite setting, and we were gonna do Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. Then we had a mystery, or features a mystery, so I feel like mystery should be at the heart of it, and that is I Hunt Killers by Barry Lyga. Then we had multi-perspective, and we're gonna go with Blessed Monsters. We're dreading that, but we're just gonna get it over with and do it. Then we had Zenith, which we've never heard of before, but we're gonna test it out because it is the lowest rated book on Goodreads that's on my TBR at 3.1 stars. Then we're gonna do The Blood Trials. I can't remember the author's name, but it'll be right here, because this book, what prompt was it? Oh, it had buildings. We had buildings again. So this one had buildings on it. And this book is that, you know, young adult sci-fi versus fantasy thing, which sounds really cool. So I'm pretty excited about that one. And then we had favorite trope. So I went with like romance trope, which I guess is enemies to lovers and definitely anything about books and writing. So this is The Roughest Draft by whoever the author is right here. And I think we can realistically definitely get to some of these. Like I'm definitely going to read The Hod King. I'm definitely going to read Wayward Son. I'm definitely going to read Blood Trials. The Roughest Draft is coming in for my library loan soon anyway, so I'm definitely going to read that one. So the only ones I might not get to are Zenith, I Hunt Killers, and Blessed Monsters, but actually I probably will. I mean, I think I can get to some of those. I don't know about Blessed Monsters, because honestly, this is probably going to be the only physical book I will have time to read because it is so massive. It's, well, it's not as bad as it looks. It's not even 600 pages. It's like 550, so it could be worse, but I doubt I'll get time to do Blessed Monsters. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started on these books, even though it's only August. It's August 20th today, but that'll give me a little jump start and see how many of these books I can get through. But that was super fun. I wish I'd gotten to draw some of the cards because I made up all the prompts last night and that was really fun for the community shelf and the chance cards, but oh well. Anyway, I'll have everything linked down below if you guys also want to try this out. I'll have the channel linked, and the creator of this has the board. You can print off the board just like I did, and you can print off the cards and stuff like that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Wish me luck with this TBR. Bye.